Joining me now with a final warning is Louisiana Senator John Kennedy, who serves on the Senate Budget Committee, and he voted properly on this particular so-called infrastructure bill. Senator, your message tonight to your 18 or so colleagues who took this path to help Biden, threw him a lifeline, and now we see what's going on, going to $3.5 trillion now.
Well, I can just share with you my perspective, Laura. Early on, I was a likely yes on this bill. I mean, you know, who's not for infrastructure? I'm for children and prosperity, too. But then I got a copy of the bill, and I realized pretty quickly that if you look up stupid stuff in the dictionary, there's a picture of this bill. They told us it was a real infrastructure bill. It's not. Only 23% of the bill is real infrastructure. The rest is Green New Deal and welfare. They told us the bill was paid for. It isn't. We're going to have to borrow maybe up to $400 billion to pay for it. They told us there were no tax increases. There are. My state's going to have to pay $1.3 billion in new taxes on our petrochemical industry. They told us, as you pointed out, that the Democrats were really wary of this bill, and that it would, if we passed this bill, it would make it harder for them to pass their $5 trillion tax and spending binge reconciliation bill. Well, if that's true, how come every Democrat voted for this infrastructure bill? And finally, they told us that it's not going to add to inflation, but it will.
So what happened with your 18 colleagues? I went through that list, and maybe with the exception of a couple, Senator, I would say it was pretty much the same people who wanted Jeb Bush to be the nominee in 2016. It was kind of like a Venn diagram. It was mostly Jeb Bush people, which is fine. But Mitt Romney was actually arguing that this thing would save $500 billion. So you're saying this, the CBO agrees with you, but they're arguing numbers that are just false. What is that going to do to the credibility of the Republican Party on fiscal responsibility going forward, sir?
Well, I don't know why it passed with 60 plus votes. I don't know, day drinking and maybe. All I know is, for example, inflation alone, which is a horrible tax on middle America. They told us, oh, this isn't going to add to inflation, but it is. I mean, I don't like to brag about all the expensive places I've been, but earlier today I went to the gas station. This bill's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse for groceries, too. And look, I'm for infrastructure. I'm just not for infrastructure at any cost. I'm for infrastructure. I'm not for infrastructure no matter what. And we're going into a fight now with the Democrats over raising the debt ceiling. And
raising
the
taxes.
Argument,
raising taxes, too.
And taxes. And the argument that I'd like to make is, which I can make, Senator Schumer, this debt is yours. This debt is yours. But the truth of the matter is that on this last bill, the infrastructure bill, this debt belongs to both Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, well, Senator, first of all, we appreciate your common sense approach to this. It's common sense. It's facts versus fiction, and we appreciate that. The Republicans gave Joe Biden a lifeline, and I can't tell you how angry so many people are out there about that one fact. It's fraudulent and it's false, and all 18 think they're going to skate for 6 years. They're not. People are going to have a long memory about this. Senator, thank you. Thank you for being here.